Hey Iceland, you are one place in this world that I would love to visit 1,000 times and still yearn for more.
You are a land of fire and ice with over 130 active volcanoes, 3,000 waterfalls, 300 glaciers, and hundreds of natural hot water springs.
Let me take you back 7 years ago. My wife and I went on a second honeymoon to Iceland. We had the time of our lives, but I wanted to return someday to capture its surreal beauty from the sky. I even obtained my endorsement to fly a plane solo, fueled by a dream to one day capture aerial shots of the most remote places in the Arctic Circle.
Finally, 7 years later,
After several months of intense planning, I touched down in Iceland, drove through the highlands under the midnight sun, and walked for miles in the wilderness to capture the glacial braided rivers. The whole area felt like an alien planet. Yellow River intertwining with black volcanic sand, forming beautiful patterns, captures the imagination of an artist.
my fear of going to such remote and extreme locations is that if the weather gets bad, or car breaks down, or I am physically hurt, there is no easy evacuation. Oftentimes, I don't even have a plan B.
After spending few days close to the rivers, I headed deep into the Highland. It is one of the last remaining wilderness in Europe. After a long day at midnight, I settled into a tent beneath the open sky, besides a 300-foot twin waterfall echoing through the valley. The next morning, I drove on the road surrounded by volcanic wasteland. The whole scenery changed in few hours. I was surrounded by waterfalls, beaches, caves, and glaciers. Because I left my wife home, God chose to not bless me with a rainbow this time.
It was late at night and I was looking for a place to camp. I don't think I could have found anything more adventurous than the lava rock caves facing the beach. What concerned me the most were the sneaker waves, infamous for causing casualties.
After spending a few days in the south, I headed east. I was walking towards the black sand beach, about 10 kilometers off the highway. Everything was looking promising. But suddenly, I was attacked by an eagle, not once or twice, but 17 times. Despite all the hardships, it was worth every effort to observe some of the most exceptional, naturally occurring patterns on our planet.
As the clouds scattered away and sun emerged, witnessing the colors and patterns of the river flowing near the dunes and tree-like structures was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had. By this time, I was overwhelmed by the beauty of Iceland. I was speechless, witnessing the boundless beauty of Iceland. I drove throughout the night in thick fog and rain to make up for the lost time due to bad weather. Iceland is definitely one of the most incredible places I've ever seen. It's a very strange feeling to go to a place that may not exist in the future. Glaciers around the world are melting at an alarming rate, threatening lives on coastlines. And I was pleasantly surprised by the guest appearance of a seal near the iceberg. After a long day, I finally found a place with little wind and went to bed with icebergs, seals, and got up with a dense fog covering the whole area. Greenland was on my bucket list for a very long time. One can fly into Greenland from only two countries, Iceland and Denmark. I did not want to miss the chance to visit the tribes in Greenland and learn more about how they survived here for thousands of years. One of the many things I've wanted to do in Greenland was to eat seal for dinner. I was actually very lucky to find a local fisherman who worked for the government during the day to give me a ride to his friend's place. His friend had hunted a seal in the morning and cooked it for dinner for me.
And now, in the summer, go to hunting. Many people go to hunting.
It was strongly advised to carry a rifle and a bear spray before going on a land exploration. Just a few months before my arrival, a local had to hunt down a polar bear as it had come too close to the human settlement. And he was the same person who served me seal the night ago. After returning back to Iceland, I drove to the east, wanting to cover a few more natural wonders of Iceland before the bad weather wipes out the whole week. I rushed to capture the thundering waterfall that captivated me with a sense of raw power and timeless beauty. The whole area felt like an endless stretch of basalt columns, lava rocks, and water flowing through the mountains. The striking red layers of clay showcases the number of times the volcano has erupted. It was such an amazing feeling to be all alone in such an incredible place. This whole place felt like a fairy tale with basalt columns, misty weather, and roaring sound of the waterfall.
Hey Iceland, you are one place in this world that I would love to visit 1,000 times and still yearn for more.